Yo, what it do? So I am getting better, for those concerned. Allergies followed by strep and a sick family hit me pretty hard. I am getting better, and I think I can talk. So let's go over what's going on here. So today is the day before Mother's Day. It's May 12th. Here in Maryland. It's about 4 p.m. And so it's actually been a really hot day. About 80 so degrees, low 80s, 82 I believe. And it was hot. I busted my ass on one small project today. Still more to do as always. Nothing like Dekier. I'm going to pronounce it that way. I don't care what he says. Nothing like he's dealing with. But obviously we all start somewhere. So let's just go over the containers. I've tried to consolidate them a little bit, put them a little closer together. Aronias have little berries. So I'm going to go ahead and eat them, boys, and taste them, really, because I've never had them. Lemon verbena, looking awesome. I have my baby's breath coming up, and I've put a little horse manure compost on top. I feel like the peat moss that it's in was just getting dry way too quickly. Oh, and if you can see, my little skink is hanging around back there. He slipped away. Little flower container, doing okay. Not growing as quick as I want, but that hibiscus there has popped up a little bit. So, you know, here, cantaloupe. I'm going to clip one of these eventually. Just want to see who the real survivor is. And then my Mexican sour gherkins. Set up my little trellis with my super fanciful zip ties here. And yeah, I'm excited to see that bad boy grow up. Herb garden, little bit of a loss lately. Lovage is doing okay, chive's doing okay. Cilantro right here. Now, most of this area was completely taken over by that rosemary bush. Unfortunately, it didn't make it just as I thought. I gave it some time to come back, but as you can see, there's no life there. It's completely dead. So that's a bummer. I'm not quite sure if I want to replace it with another rosemary where it was, or find a better spot for one. Also, it looks like my marjoram in the corner doesn't really seem to be eager to come back either. But hey, they're perennial, not immortal, so life goes on. This is mostly yard that needs to be cut. So we'll take a quick trip. We're gonna ignore the raspberries because like I said, I'm not satisfied with that. That's a whole another project. Probably not even gonna do with that till the fall. So we got our zucchinis, and my son went around. He's a toddler. He's planting things. He doesn't know what he's doing, but it was a random plant, so I don't care. Gray zucchini, doing well. Spinach, I have had a wealth of spinach. I'm not sick of it yet, but I'm getting there. You know, normally as the weather gets hot, greens tend to get bitter. I haven't found that to be true with the spinach. It's definitely a little chewier. You know, you almost get that squeakiness on your teeth, but due to the heat, it is beginning to flower. So once it flowers, I'm definitely going to collect the seed, do something with that next year. But I mean, it's been an awesome crop. I'm very satisfied, and you know, that's definitely going in the repertoire of things I'm doing every fall. You know, kale, just doing its little flower thing. Gonna get some seeds from there. Carrots have finally, you know, really established themselves. I was kind of worried for a bit there, but I got two different varieties separated by the scallions in the middle. It's a little, you know, it's a little helter-skelter, but it's gonna be okay. Hey, sorry I'm laughing. It's this is a parsley plant. My son just very proudly yanked it out of the ground, and I had to kind of just pop it back in. So that one may make it, it may not. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I'd like to focus on this though. This has really been what I was working on today, and I've got a before and after shot I'm going to post. But so this, you know, this rose bush has been here for, I mean, damn, years. I want to say it's in the teens. And, you know, it overgrows, and then I cut it back, and then it overgrows, and then I cut it back, and then I forget it for a couple years. It takes over. The Bermuda grass takes over the bed. So between that and the sedum, the autumn joy sedum over here, it's really the only thing really worth keeping. Everything else was just kind of weeds, compacted ground, completely lifeless soil. So I loosened it all up. I pulled as much Bermuda grass out as I could, and then I just transplanted as many flowers as I possibly could. So I got a little fern here. I believe this is, I want to say it's ostrich fern. I got a little shepherd's hook here. I'm gonna step down into the soil a little better. Soil is very loose. I mixed in, you know, if I had to guess, I would say like maybe a square yard of horse manure compost. So very rich, bringing some life into the soil. I am going to cover it for those concerned. Got a rando tomato, not quite sure what that one is. And that is a zucchino replicante, kind of like a zucchini and winter squash mix. This bed was, I mean, I'm just kind of finding things to fill it, cover the ground. You know, these were just kind of like extra leftover plants, but I did buy some new guys today with the express purpose of growing here. This is bee balm, native to the Americas. I believe this is the perennial version. Already forgot. This is a cornflower, 4th of July, so it's gonna go red, white, and blue. America, fuck yeah. I got a rando strawberry that was just left in this bed that I put here years ago, kept forgetting about. It survived. It ain't thriving, but it's surviving. I believe that's skullcap there, more cornflower, hibiscus. That is acorn squash. 2 foxgloves back there, and a moonflower, which is kind of like the nocturnal version of a morning glory. So, it can be borderline invasive, but I hear they're pretty cool, they're aromatic. Man, look at this. This is awesome here. So, you know, this is my corn guild, thanks to Dakir. You know, the escarole here, I only had 2 plants survive, but man, are they doing good. A little bitter this time of year. I'm going to try them again in the fall after I save the seeds. Red romaine here that has been awesome. It was just kind of like a filler because it was so bare. So I've been slowly ripping out the plants whole to make room for the other, you know, the corn and the squash and the beans to come up here. So my end goal is to save a couple of them, let them really go. Obviously save their seeds. It's actually been a really awesome lettuce. I'm not quite sure if it's the soil attributing to that or the variety, but I've never really had that great of luck with lettuces. This one is really good. So back again. So this is the tomato guild, and so marigolds, man, they are ready to pop. Look at that. I can't get a good focus, but it's just about ready to pop there. Potatoes just coming up, just fucking potatoes, man. So I got my black tomatoes here, 4 black tomatoes, and then the basil that Dakir sent me. It's a purple basil. I'm not quite sure if he had a cross, you know, pollination issue or if that was intentional, but it does seem to be a purple variety. And then here was just kind of like my basic basils and tomatoes. And yeah, I mean, that's all this bed is going to be. I've got some other basils I've started a little later. They haven't even popped up yet. So we're just going to see how that goes. Rando onions. So kind of weak, these peas here. You know, like I said, I think overwintering, if you can manage it, is definitely the best way. Got a couple on the side of the house that have already produced pods. I'm letting most of that go to seed. I am going to eat some of them. But I mean, these guys, by the time that they start, you know, fruiting, it's probably going to be pretty bitter. It gets really hot here very quickly in Maryland, and we tend to kind of just skip spring a little bit. We just go right from winter into summer. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to see if these guys will definitely survive the heat, but, you know, peas don't love heat. So, my kales, all my different varieties of kales here. Now, we are in a little bit of a drought, so I don't want to call it a drought because it's only spring, but we've gone quite some time without rain. We were supposed to have a couple back-to-back days, and that just ended up not happening. Oh yeah, and wildflowers. Finally got a nice little cover there. Flower bed looks awful. I have pokeweed in here, and I need to dig down and get to those roots. But you know, I'm trying to find a way to do it without disturbing the soil. And then I'm dog sitting right now, and the dog shit right where I crouch. So I don't really want to deal with sticking my knees in dog shit. What else we got? Oh yeah, my arugula, old dirty rotten nigger. There we go. So it's I don't even know if this thing's gonna produce. It's not in a good area, but I mean, you guys named it. Thanks, Buddha. So going back, and we'll end this soon. I mean, what do we got? 11 minutes here. So corn, my blood bed, corn and beets, doing great. Doing really good. I mean, they're going to fill out. I had a couple extra beans that I had soaked overnight, and I popped them in. I see a couple of them popping up. You know, not really the focus here. The focus is just the beets and the corn. And yeah, I need to get rid of that tire. I've been getting lazy, and it's funny because the potatoes in the tire are doing amazing. So here's my like sloppy save the potatoes bed. And then I just kind of been putting my grass clippings back here because I didn't want to weed. I figured I'd just smother them. And, you know, scallions, parsley, dog. Forget which flower they say. Hey, buddy, get out. Okras here, a couple okras. Got a couple sunflowers shooting up here, some weeds behind there. And my overwintered lettuce, which... some insect damage, but or I'm sorry, kales, insect damage, but to be expected. So that is the garden. That's pretty much the skinny of it. Doing really good. I mean, this is probably my best year so far. I'm really excited for that flower bed in the corner. I think that that's going to look awesome in like a month or so. And yeah, till next time, guys.